So we're going to look at finding the images in a converging or a concave mirror. And the converging mirror has been placed on this optic bench, which is basically a meter stick with some holders to keep it in place on the desk. And then I've mounted the mirror on a mirror support at the 10 centimeter mark on my ruler. And then I've also gone ahead and marked two other points that should be that are important for this experiment. So at 14.1 centimeters in front of the mirror, I've marked the focus. And you remember in our previous experiment, we found the focus of this mirror. It was advertised on the packaging as 15. We found it to actually be a little less than that, and that's why we always go through that first step of determining what the focal length of the mirror really is. And so I've marked that 14.1 centimeters in front of my mirror, so it's actually at the 24.1 mark on the meter stick. And then 2 times the focal length is actually the center of curvature, and so 2 times 14.1 is 28.2, and then bring that out, 28.2 in front of my 10 centimeter mark is actually 38.2, and I've marked that 38.2 centimeter mark on my ruler as C. And so F and C are 2 important points for the upcoming experiment, and it's just easiest if you mark those on there on your optic bench first, and then we can use those as reference points as we go along from here. So now that we have our optical bench set up and we have both F and C marked on our bench so that we know some of the relative spots, the important points we want to be able to reference when we do this experiment, I'm just going to take the candle, and we're going to start with the candle out here somewhere. We'll just go out past C. So everything is in reference to the being in front of the mirror. So we've gone out C and then out past C, and we'll just light the candle. So that'll be our light source. And as I light the candle, I realize I also need to move my paper over so that I'm not going to drip any wax on my desk. And so there we have the candle lit. And then we're just going to use the same idea, the paper screen that we used to find the focal length of the mirror. And we're going to move that in front and back and forth in front of the mirror just to see where we can find the image that's formed. There will be a real image formed by this mirror of that candle flame. And so as we move the paper in, I can start to see a bright spot developing on the paper, and as I come in just a little bit closer, there it is right there. And actually inside of, in between the mirror and the candle then, I'm getting an image formed on my paper. It's much smaller than the actual candle is, and it's inverted. And so that's where this first image is formed. When you put an object beyond C, you get an image that'll be formed between the candle and the mirror, which will be smaller and inverted. Okay? So let's put the screen down for a moment, and we're going to move the candle. So let's bring the candle all the way up to where C is, the center of curvature of the mirror, moving that paper as well. And this time we'll look for the image. And so again, holding it up here, I can see my bright spots forming already, and as I bring it in right there, I now have a sharp focused image of that candle flame. And you'll notice this time then that the image and the candle are side by side, so they're formed the same distance in front of the mirror. It's still inverted, and this time it's the same size as the actual object. And so the image and the object are the same size. Okay? Putting the screen down again one more time. We're going to move it in. This time we'll move it in so it's that the object sits between F and C. And then again, taking our paper, we'll start out here, and we'll move that paper in. There's my bright spot already. And actually I get a nice in focus picture of the flame right there. And so we have another image now. The image is actually beyond C. It's gotten larger, but it's still inverted. And so we have another image, for a real image formed by the mirror of the candle. Okay. Now a couple more spots to have a look at. We'll move it into F. So that was our focal point, our focus of the mirror. Focal length, remember, 14.1 centimeters in front of our mirror. And again, we'll move this around. I can kind of get a bright spot there. So try and move it in closer. No, it's not coming into focus. I still got that spot, but there doesn't seem to be any point where it actually will focus into a nice clear image. And that's what we expect at the focus. There, you can't form an image. And so there is no image formed when the candle is placed at F. And then just the last spot we want to look at is just if we put the candle between the mirror and F, and we can do the same thing again. We'll look here, and we can see there's a large diffuse bright spot, but I can't bring that spot at all into focus. And then if I actually look here in the mirror, now I can actually see an image in the mirror, and this time the image of the candle is upright in the mirror, and I can see that, and it's a virtual image because I can't I can't place a screen anywhere to find that image. It's actually an image, a virtual image formed in the mirror. So those are the different locations you want to explore when you're using a converging mirror to see the various properties of the images that mirror can form. Okay, thanks.